Let me ask you one question. Have you ever been attacked by butterflies? Butterflies?
No.
Thank God, no. It would have been really absurd for me. I've always been attacked by butterflies. In fact, I'm right now being attacked by butterflies. Fellow Toastmasters, my dear guests, the butterflies I'm talking about are the butterflies that I currently have in my stomach. Now tell me, have you ever been attacked by butterflies? Yes, in fact, yeah. See, personally, I'm a very nervous speaker. People will have different reasons to join Toastmasters. If I can have one or two reasons, please. What's the reason for you to join Toastmasters?
Same butterflies.
Thank you. So, different reasons again. Someone wants to be a better communicator, someone wants to be a better leader, someone wants to talk to people, network, and but for me, there was only been one reason to join Toastmasters. I just want to get the nervous feeling that I have every time I come here on stage. I just want to do away with it completely. Well, I haven't succeeded, let me tell you. This is my 8th speech and my hands still shake, and the MC at our club, they don't really shake hands with me before or after the speech because they know how sweaty they are. But I have been trying to manage. Let me tell you, like, since school, this has been my situation. I had participated in public speaking competitions, whatever. Every time I go, I either get completely frozen or I'll have, in fact, one time I had a speech which went like this, short pause, long pause, repeat, for 4 minutes on stage. I didn't say a single word. That's how it went. So finally I made a decision to start doing something about it, and here I am, Toastmasters, and here today at Aravana. So let me share with you 3 simple things that I generally have, 3 simple tips that I have for myself. I am not in a position to advise you people here. These 3 tips, things that have worked for me, things I'd like to remember the next time I give speech. So to start with, my first tip is this one. Practice, practice, and practice. Let me tell you, I have tried for simpler, easier ways, but I couldn't find any. Practice, that's the only thing, because the worst possible thing you can do to an audience who have been sitting there expectant, eager, waiting for you to inspire them, make them laugh or make them entertain, is give a long pause or a short pause or a So if you can do the only thing for your preparation before a speech, it's practice. Practice well before your speech. That will at least help you, overcome some kind of anxiety while you are here, and it goes a long way. Let me tell you. The second one, it's okay to be nervous. And I have one small incident to share with you people. Anyone knows this guy? Anyone knows this guy? So that for you is Pep Guardiola. He has been a coach of Barcelona, very popular coach. He's been with Barcelona for 4 years. So he's won every single cup in club level, not once, twice, thrice. So in total, during his period in 4 years, he's won 14 cups, or 13 in fact, and these are the trophies he's won during his period. These are the trophies he's won during this period. So that's 13 trophies. So in 4 years, and he has won numerous Coach of the Year awards during that period. So what happens is after 4 years, he takes a break of 1 year, and he goes back to coach another team. So the first day during that, he joins a new team. He has a press conference, and the first question the reporters ask him is, "How do you feel?" You know what he says? He says, "I feel nervous." Nervous. A person who's won so many things during 4 years, he'll be around 40. He's just a very young coach, and a person to be nervous, think about it. Just goes on to say, being nervous is not a bad thing. When you are being nervous, you're alive. You care about something. That's the reason you're nervous. And finally, you want to succeed. Imagine, why else would you be nervous if you didn't care about people who are sitting there, and unless you want to succeed in whatever you're doing. That's the main thing. So don't feel like nervousness is a bad thing. It can be a good thing. Scientists say that whenever we get nervous, and our body response for nervousness and excitement is more or less the same. So let's not call it nervousness. Let's call it excitement and make it a positive feeling. And the final point I have for you is fail often. I mean, we always fear failure. If I were to say, you will wake up someday and you will lose all your nervousness and you can suddenly be a great speaker on stage, would you believe me? You've not. See, coming here to become a better speaker, to overcome your nervousness, the first thing you have to do here is come here and fail. And the more often, the more quickly you fail, the more quickly you'll learn. Imagine, this is more or less like learning a bicycle. Imagine, has anyone ever learned a bicycle without even falling once or bruising themselves? Of course they have not. Speaking is similar. Coming here, you have to fail once, you have to fail twice. Few people take lesser time, few people take more time. At the end of the day, everyone will succeed. Let me assure you. So, those are the 3 points. I want you to remember when you try to make an attempt to come here the next time. If you feel nervous, everyone feels nervous. Even the best of the speakers feels nervous. That should not be the end of it. You should try to cope with that nervousness. And once you start actually getting used to that nervousness and trying to use it to your advantage, let me tell you, you won't just survive your time here at this stage. You will thrive. So with that said, let me end you with a small quote by Edward Murrow. The best speaker know enough to be scared. The only difference between the pros and the novices is the pros have trained the butterflies in their stomach to fly in a formation. Over to you. Okay, yeah, my palms are sweaty, so better we don't shake.
That was